Hey everyone, I am Dominique and I am just going to give a brief review of the Miss America 2020 pageant that I watched last night. Now, let me just put a disclaimer. I am not just somebody who randomly gets on here and talks about pageants. I do have some experience. I am actually competing in local prelims in my state through the Miss America organization. So I have competed back when Miss America was 1.0. I have competed when it's changed to 2.0, so I know about the changes, I've experienced them, and I have my own, opinions about them as from the experiences that I've had. So, when I watched the pageant last night, I was thoroughly impressed with all the candidates, especially when they did their introductions. The introductions was a really good thing to add because it shows that these women are not just women who come from all across these different states who are just trying to showcase their talents in their body. It shows that they are women who are strong. They're making an impact on this country. They have educational aspirations as well as career aspirations, and that's something that should be highlighted in every pageant. So I am very pleased that the organization did that. Um, Another thing that I loved is that Miss Texas wore her afro on stage. And you guys, when I say I screamed, because she was one of the first to do that in the Miss America pageant. Now, you see it all the time in the Miss USA and Miss Universe pageants because of course, our Miss Universe, she has her short hair, and I love that on her as well. But in the Miss America organization, I've never seen a black woman wear her natural afro or just natural hair period on stage. So Miss Texas, I commend you for that. Thank you so much. As somebody who competes in pageants and is natural, I am inspired by you, and you've just given me a lot of courage to get on stage and wear my natural hair. So thank you for that, Miss Texas, if you see this. um Another thing that I just love is that our new Miss America, Camille, she is really passionate about STEM. Now, you don't see a lot of women who are passionate about STEM competing in these pageants. And if they are, they don't focus so much on it, but she's very passionate about it. I mean, from her talent, even her talent was focused on STEM, and you don't see a lot of women who do that. And there were some comments on Twitter that was not a talent. But what you guys need to understand is that when these judges are scoring the talent portion of the competition, they're not just looking for how well you execute the talent. They're looking for stage presence. Do you command the attention of the audience? And I don't know about you guys, but she had my attention here in my home when I was watching it. So I know for a fact that she had everyone's attention in that arena when she was competing. And that's really what the judges are looking for. You know, the stage is your stage, and can you command that presence? Can you get everybody's attention from the talent that you're doing? So yes, I do agree that her talent was actually a talent. It was very creative. I would have never thought about it. It was so original. So kudos to her for doing that. Now, there were some things in the pageant that, of course, like many others, I was not impressed by. For one, it was all the talking. Now, when I did Miss America 1.0, back when I did my first prelim in my state, this is where we did wear swimsuits. I was impartial to wearing a swimsuit, but it's just because of my own preference. And that's really one of the reasons why they took away swimsuit, is because there were so many people complaining about, oh, just because I don't have a perfect body doesn't mean I don't deserve to compete. Doesn't mean that she doesn't deserve to win if she doesn't wear a size 3 and has abs. I get it. And that's one of the reasons why they took it away. I'm not mad that they took it away. But even for somebody like me who is not a perfect size 3, if they wanted me to put a swimsuit on, I would put it on because it's just a part of production and a competition. That's what pageantry is. It is a production and it is a competition. Now, when they did swimsuit, I did enjoy it just because I got to show off, my lifestyle and fitness. And I'm sure a lot of other women did as well. But what has happened now is that they've replaced swimsuit with these on-stage interviews. Instead of showing our bodies, they want us to show our minds and our speaking skills. I'm all for public speaking. I love to public speak. However, I feel like the pageant last night was so congested with talking. We hardly saw these girls show off their gowns, show off their poise, and walk across that stage and be glamorous. But we heard them talk for majority of the night. You know, when they first did that first section, where they did the mini on stage interview. We do that in our local prelims. So that wasn't a surprise to me because I've done that in the past prelims that I've competed in this year. And I was like, okay, you know, all right. I see what they're doing here. Kudos. Then they did basically a presentation. It was like a PowerPoint presentation. And I was like, okay, I don't know. I don't know what the point of this is, but okay, I'm still tuned in. But then after that, they did some other kind of question. And this is how I knew that I had got fed up with it at that point, because I don't even remember what Mario Lopez or that other lady said that they had to do. I just know I heard question, question, question when they were telling them these are what the girls are about to do. And I'm like, okay, stop. This is too much. They are overwhelming the competition with a bunch of questions and answers. We get it. We want you guys to know that we are more than just pretty women, that we can speak and that we are intelligent. But now they are taking away the originality of pageantry. They're taking away the whole production of it. Like, if all we're seeing is these girls talk on stage, then we could just go to a TED talk. I mean, we can just, you know, we can go to a class lecture and see that. We came to see a show. We want to see them put on their heels, put on their gowns, and we want to see them show off their intelligence. And my thing is, they could have done all of that with their evening gowns on. So that's where I was a little disappointed. I love evening gown. That's actually my favorite part of competing, is putting on my evening gown. I don't wear an evening gown every day. So that moment where I get to just be beautiful and put on a nice dress and earrings and do my hair, I mean, I live for that in pageants. And when I look at this pageant, I was watching it, they barely wore evening gowns. They wore it at the beginning and they wore it at the very end. They never even got to, you know, really walk in it. They didn't do evening walk. And that was disappointing to me. I really hope that in the future, Miss America, the organization, brings that back. Bring the evening gown walks back, because we want to see that. We can live without the swimsuit, that's fine, but I want to see some evening gown walking, and that's for sure. Another thing that I did not like was how they were telling the girls that they were not, you know, exceeding to the next round. This is not a game show. It is a pageant competition. And even though it is a scholarship competition, pageant is still in the name. So it's really embarrassing for you to call her name and say, hey, we're giving you this feedback. You did a wonderful job, but you're not going to the next round. That kind of felt embarrassing for me. If I was on stage, I would have felt a little bit mortified had they done that to me. And I don't know how the contestants felt about it, but you know, I just don't feel like that elimination process was the best thing. I feel like they need to go back and revamp that. Need to, you know, hopefully the Miss America organization is seeing you guys' tweets and seeing all this feedback and taking it into consideration for next year. Because even if I was a parent watching my daughter on stage, that kind of would have made me upset to see them just eliminate her like that. Like, you didn't have to do that. I also didn't like how they announced those first 15 semifinalists. It was 15 or 14, but the semifinalists at the very beginning, but then they pushed them all backstage and then announced the next 7. We didn't even get to celebrate those semifinalists the way that we wanted to. They didn't get to, you know, walk on stage in a full figure eight or anything. You just kind of shoved them backstage and then just said, okay, wait, we're going to call the next 7 who are better. That's, you know, there was a lot of things that were kind of tasteless. Excuse me. It was a little bit tasteless, and I feel like they could kind of improve on that. They need to improve on that, because you just don't want to discourage people at all, especially when they work so hard to get to the Miss America pageant. Don't discourage them and take that away from them. Give them their moment of shine. There's another thing that I did not like for sure, and that's that Miss Nia Franklin, who was Miss America 2019, did not get her final walk. You know, usually in pageants, I don't know how other pageants go in other states, but I know that in my state, when we do prelims, that reigning queen gets her final walk. She gets a little, maybe a PowerPoint presentation where she's not speaking, but basically her voice is playing over a slideshow of what she's done in a year with her title. And the fact that Miss Nia Franklin did not get that, I kind of was really, really upset because she had an amazing year. 2019 was a year where so many Black women took these titles and were doing some great things and amazing things. And we didn't get to even see that. We didn't get to see her year in review. Instead, they just pushed her out there. They let her say a few things. By the way, she was gorgeous. I love those bot sprays on stage. That was awesome. I love seeing stuff like that. But then they barely focused on her. And I don't think that that was fair because they did it for the past queen. They done it for the queen before that. So they don't need to stop that tradition. They need to keep that as well. You know, we want to see what these girls have done during their year of reign. That's just something that you shouldn't take away from them. So I was kind of sad to see that they didn't do that for her as well. And, you know, to the Miss America organization, for one, I'm still a supporter because I do compete in prelims in my state. I will always support the organization because it's giving women like me an opportunity to fund our educations and to continue my education. A lot of scholarships that I got from Miss America organizations have helped me complete school. And that's why I'm getting my master's now, and I'm very excited about that. And I wouldn't be able to do that if it wasn't for the contributions of that organization. However, as a woman who competes, I still want them to keep some things the same. As far as evening gown, I love evening gown. They don't need to take that away. And I can deal without walking in a swimsuit. I'm not really opposed to swimsuit being there or not being there. That's okay. But there are just some things that I just want to see them improve on. And I get that the organization is trying to take a new turn and saying that, hey, these girls are smart and brilliant, but we don't want to see women talking all, all show long. We don't want to see them talk for 2 hours and give presentations. We want to see them be glamorous. We want to see them walk on that stage and do a little bit of production. So, my overall review, would I say that the pageant was horrible? No, it was good to me. And I'm very proud of our new Miss America. I'm so excited to see what she's going to do. But I will say that there are some things that needs to change. And that's all that my review was about. It's just these things that, need to be thought about whenever they're going back and meeting and saying, okay, what did we do right? What did we do wrong? We really need to just keep the Miss America organization in our thoughts. There's a lot that they're trying to combat against, especially with everything that happened. I don't know if a lot of people who are watching knows about all the backlash that happened with the Miss America organization that made them do these changes. But I mean, that's a lot to consider. So we're just hoping that in the future, everything takes a turn for the better instead of going downhill. But if you guys want, just put your comments about what you think, what you know about what the pageant and how it could be improved or what could change, what you didn't like, what you did like. And let's just see what everybody else is thinking as well. So thank you guys.